Hello and welcome back everyone. This is Mohammad Arslan and you're watching my channel MArcSiddiqui. And in the previous lecture we have studied about JavaScript, and in today's lecture we are going to continue JavaScript and we are going to study what are the data types. So this is the lecture number 15. So let's start. What is data type? Data type is simply a type of data which we use to solve our problems or perform some specific task, where we store some are random values, some are readable values which we can use throughout the process of our desired outcome. In programming, data type is an important concept, and you must know what is data type. Whatever language you are using, you must know about the data types in detail. To be able to operate on variable, it is important to know something about the data type. You must know what is data type. If you are performing some operation and you don't know what kind of data type it is, what kind of data it is holding, so it is going to be really difficult for you. Without data type, a computer cannot safely solve your problems without data types. So you must use some data types. You will have to store some of your values, then you will be able to do some task. Now the next is JavaScript data types. We are going to continue JavaScript data types because this is the programming language JavaScript and we are doing its lectures, so we need to study about its data types. You can go on to C# playlist, you can go on to SQL playlist as well. There you will study more about more data types, about other programming language data types, but this is the JavaScript lecture, so let's start. JavaScript variable can hold many data types. They can be number, they can be string, they can be object, or some more kind of data types. Like you can see var, I'm declaring a variable here, its price, and its price is equal 16, so it is going to be a number. And when I say first name and I am writing my name, my first name is Mohammed, so it is going to be a string because it is holding up character. And I am declaring another variable which is x, and in that x I am going to define two more variables. So the one is first name, the second is last name. So compounding with the two variables, it is going to be called an object. An object is something which is holding up more than one or two variables. So like here it is holding up two variables, so it is going to be my object. Now JavaScript numbers, because as I told you, the JavaScript data type can be of number, can be of a string, and can be of object as well. So we need to learn each and every data type. So in this lecture we are going to learn in detail what are the data types. So the number data types, JavaScript has only one type of number. Like you can see, there are many types of number. They can be decimal, they can be integer, they can be float, and so many more data types are here as well. But JavaScript has only one number data types, and that one number data type is going to deal with all kind of numbers. Like number can be written with or without decimal. Like I am declaring here, I am declaring a number 1, it is 16, which is written without the decimal points. There are no decimal points. And I am declaring another variable, it is number 2, which I am declaring like 16.2. so this number is definitely written with the decimal points. Now extra large or extra small number can be written with scientific exponential notations. Like example, for example, if I write var number 1 and 1 2 3 and e and 5, what does it e mean? E means it's an exponential, so I can use that kind of trick as well to write the number. So mean to say, the basic mean is to say that in JavaScript we don't need to specify what kind of number it is. It is dynamically going to accept and dynamically going to understand that what kind of data we are going to provide in the variable. So this is the most amazing advantage of the JavaScript, which I prefer, which I personally like. So it is that you can define easily. You don't need to learn so many data types. You don't need to remember each and every data type of the number. Now the next is JavaScript Booleans. What are the Booleans? The Booleans can only have two values, not just in JavaScript but in the SQL, in C#, in any language you go. Boolean has only two values. The one is true, the second is false. Booleans are often used in conditional testing. Actually 95 and more than 95% they are used for the conditional testing, because they are going to give you the result yes or no, true or false, 1 or 0, bit on, bit off. So we will learn in detail about Boolean when we will going to use them in the testing purpose in the conditional testing. But if I declare var1 and var number 1, var number 2 and var number 3, there are three different numbers and they are integer. The 1 and 2 is holding up 5 and 3 is holding up 6. So now if I make a condition, testing that what is going to happen if number 1 and number 2 is equal to, the double equal sign which you are looking, it is an comparison operator which we will learn in detail. So what is number 1 and number 2? If number 1 and number 2 are going to same, if they are equal, it means it is going to return me true, or if they are not equal, it is going to return me false. Now JavaScript array are written with square brackets. Array items are separated by commas. Follow the following code which I am going to write now. It declares create an array called fruits. I am going to declare a variable. The variable is going to be of array type and its name will be fruits, and it is containing 3 items. Like if I declare var fruit and starting the square bracket, and in the square bracket I am going to write some fruit names. Actually I wrote there 3, but there are more than 3 fruits. So what is happening, there are 5 fruits, and with this way I can add up multiple values in a single variable. Like if I have to write 10 names, so I don't need to declare var 10 times, var name 1, name 2, name 3. What I can do, I can declare a variable of array type, and in that array I can declare 10 names. Array index are 0 based. The apple index, there are 5 indexes and the first index always start with 0. Like you can see, apple has the index 0, banana has the index 1, apricot 2, peach 3, and mango has 4. You can see the length is 5, but the index are ending at 4 because they are starting from 0, and so on, and you can move it on and on and on. You will learn more about arrays later in this tutorial, because our JavaScript tutorials are going to be very detailed lectures. So we will be going to discuss each and every topic, but this is the basic outcome, this is the basic tutorial, so that's why I'm teaching you the basics only right now. Now moving toward the objects. What are the objects in JavaScript? JavaScript objects are written with curly braces. Like as you see in the previous example, you were writing arrays with the square brackets, but that time you are going to declare objects with the curly braces. Here braces means brackets, and you can call them parentheses as well. Object properties are written as a name value pair separated by commas. Let's see the example. I'm going to declare a variable. It is going to be person, its name is person, and I'm starting the curly braces, and in the curly braces I am writing the object property name. So the property name is first name, and after writing the colon I am giving its value Muhammad. Then I'm separating it by comma, because the one comma is showing that the one property is ended, and the second property name is last name, and after writing colon I am again writing it name. So you can see that I am using the string as well, then I am using the integer as well. It doesn't mean if you are dealing with the objects, so the objects properties should be of same type. They can be of different type as well. Like you can see first name and last name and eye color, their data type is a string, but age data type is integer. So what is going to happen, you can hold up different type of data in the object, and the object is itself a type. The object person in the example above has 4 properties: first name, last name, age, and eye color. You will learn more about object later in this tutorial, because we will have a depth revision, depth detail in lectures of these topics. So now let's move to the type of operator. What is type of operator? You can use the JavaScript type of operator to find the type of JavaScript variable. Like you're dealing with the variable and you forgot what kind of data is it, what kind of data type of it is. So what you have to do, you can use a type of operator, and with that operator it will tell you what kind of data type is it. The type of operator returns the type of a variable or an expression. Like you can say type of, just give the value, and it is going to return you the string. Then what you can do, you write type of, then give 20, it is going to tell you that it is a number. Then write type of 3.1, it is going to return you the number as well, but it is not going to tell you it is decimal or not, because it's just a number. Then we have an undefined type as well. In JavaScript, a variable without a value a variable which does not have any value has the value undefined, so its value is going to be undefined. The type is also undefined. How? If you say var name, so what is it? It is an undefined data type because it can have the number as well and it can have the string as well. So we don't know what kind of data type it is, what kind of value it has, so it is going to be undefined. Value and type both are undefined. Then any variable can be emptied by setting the value to undefined. If you have a variable and you want to make it empty, so what you can do, just make it undefined. How? You have a value name and write it name equal undefined, so it is going to be empty. It will have no further value and its type will be empty as well, because then again you can call any kind of data type in the name. You can make it integer, you can make it whatever you want to make, so you can make it, because as you write this line name equal undefined, its value is undefined, its data type is also undefined. So now the next we have empty values. An empty value has nothing to do with the undefined. Like as I told you in the previous screen that if you want to make a variable empty, so you can write undefined, but it does not mean that empty value is also undefined. How? An empty string has both a legal value and a type. Like you can say var name equal and double quotes, and there is nothing in double quotes. The value is empty but the type is string. It's not undefined. Then we have null. What is null? In JavaScript, null means is nothing. It is supposed to be something that does not exist. Like here, null means we are directing you towards something which does not exist. Like if you can say there is, if you say that name is equal double quotes, so what is going to happen? The name is null. There is nothing in the name variable. So what is null? Null means something which does not exist. Unfortunately, in JavaScript, the data type of null is an object. When you go to get the data type of an object, it will return you when you go to get the data type of null, it will return you object. You can empty an object by setting it to null as well. Like if you were setting it to undefined to make it empty, so you can do that as well. If you write name equal null, it will be empty as well. So what I am going to do, I am going to write var person and the last example which I told you in the previous screens of the object. So how can I make it empty? Person equal null. Now value is null but type is still an object. Why? Because I am declaring person equal an object, and the object has 4 properties: first name, last name, age and eye color. Then I am making it null. Null means it is empty but its data type is still object. But what if I write undefined instead of null? What is undefined doing? Undefined making the value empty, making the data type empty. But what is null doing? Null is just making empty the data, not the data type. The data type is still null. You can also empty an object by setting it to undefined. You can make it undefined, but what will happen? What will happen? It will happen that as I have explained it to you, the data type will also be lost. If you want to maintain the data type, then you can use null. If you don't want to maintain the data type, so what you can do, you can use the undefined. But what will undefined do? Now both, you can see that what I am writing here, now both value and type is undefined. After that we have complex data. The type of operator can return one of 2 complex types. Like function, it can return you function, it can return you objects, so they are called of complex type. The type of operator returns object for object, array and null. The type of operator does not return object for function because function is not an object. Type of, I'm giving you all the examples, so after these examples you will be able to learn that how it is going to give you the answer. So for the first line I am giving the object, so what is type of returning me? That it's an object. Then I am giving in the second line type of, and I am giving it to array, so it is returning me object as well. Then I am using type of null, so it is returning me object as well. But for the function I am using type of, it is not going to give me the type objects. So what does it mean? There are 2 kinds of complex data types. The one complex data type is object and the second complex data type is function. So that's it enough for today, guys. If you have any query, if you stuck in anywhere, if you don't understand something, so you can write back to me. Have a good day. Thank you. Goodbye.